Hi, ladybirds. Now you'll see here that Jigsaw Genie is here. Can you say hello to Jigsaw Genie? Jigsaw Genie has got a brand new topic, a brand new thing to learn about this half term, which will be really exciting. Now, last half term, we learnt lots about dreams and goals. Do you remember that? I wonder how you're getting on with your dreams and goals. Are you still thinking about them? Maybe if you haven't thought about them for a while, you could carry on thinking about and just reminding yourself what it is that you were trying to get really good at, what you were trying to improve. Now, today, Jigsaw Genie is going to see if he can tell you about our new little topic. Okay, so our new thing that we are going to be learning about. And to do this, he thought he'd do it in a fun little way to start with. And the fun way that he's going to do it is by showing you some pictures. And I want you to see if you can think about what it might be. So here are some of the pictures. Ooh, now what do you think our new topic might be? Think about those pictures and what you can see. Now there's some really interesting ones in there, isn't there, ladybirds? Now you might want to pause the video and have more of a chat about it if I've gone a bit too quickly for you. But if you're ready, then carry on watching because I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my thoughts here as well. So, this little girl looks like she's doing some exercise. It looks a little bit like when before Christmas we did a yoga when you were in school. This little girl, look, is eating an apple, and apples are really healthy things that you can eat often during maybe a snack time. And then, oh look, these people all look very, very happy, don't they? It reminds me a little bit of our healthy toolkit. Our mental health toolkit that we were thinking about in terms of happiness and laughter, what made me think of, but also noticing what they're drinking because they've all got lovely smoothies, and those smoothies look really, really tasty. Oh, sleeping. Sleeping's important, isn't it? Having a little nap and a sleep. And, oh, washing their face and keeping yourself clean, and doing things that are really, really good for you. So doing things that you love, things that you enjoy. Now, what could our new topic be, do you think? I think we are going to be learning about healthy choices. So we're going to be learning a little bit about some of the healthy choices we can make. So whether it's about food, whether it's about looking after our bodies, whether it's about sleep. And this links back all the way to that toolbox that we made, thinking about the things that we keep ourselves mentally and physically healthy for. Now, I've got another challenge for you today, and this time I've got a car. Now, I thought we'd definitely pick a car just because I know you love cars in our class, don't you? Now, your challenge is to have a little think about what do you think this car might need. What do you think this car might need? So we've just talked a little bit about healthy choices and how we're thinking about how when you're looking after yourself, there's certain things that we've thought about in terms of sleep, in terms of eating healthy apples. What about if we did it in a fun context like this, thinking about a car? What might a car need? See if you can pause the video and talk about that now. Okay, ladybirds, well done. Now, thinking about a car, you might have come up with ideas like fuel, putting fuel in the car, putting petrol in or diesel. Maybe you thought about giving the car some rest so that you're not using the car all the time But it might be that you, maybe when you're going to sleep at night, you're letting the car have a rest so it doesn't overheat. Maybe you thought about cleaning the car or maintaining, looking at the engine and the parts. Maybe you thought about using it regularly. Well, all these things linked to something that you love, thinking about transport, is a little bit similar to the things we've just spoken about, isn't it? Now, I wonder whether you can now have a think. What's similar or what's different between looking after a car and looking after ourselves? I wonder if you can compare. We've looked at both. See if you can compare and think about it. What's similar, what's different? Have a little chat and talk about it at home. Well done, ladybirds. Now, you might have thought a little bit about the fact that cars need rest, just like we need rest. Maybe you thought about the fact that cars need fuel, like we need fuel. So some of those things are quite similar. But some things are a little bit different, aren't they? Because the types of fuel that we have would be very different. Now, a car might have petrol, but we wouldn't have petrol, would we? Because that would be awful for our bodies. But we have different things. Maybe you can start to think, or maybe you have already started to think about what type of things we might need. And that's some of the things that we're going to start to learn about soon. Now, I've got two last challenges for you today. One is a little game, and it is called More of, Less of. Now, what I'd like you to think of is what types of things do you think you should do more of, and what type of things do you think you should do less of out of some of the pictures I'm going to show you. So I'm going to show you these pictures. Ooh. So you can see different types of food. You can see cleaning your teeth. You can see playing video games and using technology. And there's also these ones, which is playing outside, doing some, whether it's doing art or other types of play outside, using phones, and oh look, lots of different food. Now have a little think of those pictures and think about what would be a good choice. Now just thinking about using phones, to clarify that one a little for you, you might think a little bit about that, maybe more like a TV for you. So think about maybe when you're watching TV or watching videos or things like that, whether it's Peppa Pig or Paw Patrol or those types of things. So have a little think of those pictures that we've shown you and see if you can talk about what do you think would be good to have more of these things and what do you think might be good to have less of these things. Okay, ladybirds, remember you can pause the video if I'm going too quickly. Now, thinking about those things, I wonder what you thought of, how you sorted them. Now, what's really interesting about these things is thinking about how having things less often, so this is this word, less, having them less doesn't mean you never have them. It just means that you sometimes have them, but not every single day maybe, or not lots and lots of times. So I wonder, let's talk about a few of them. So this one, or here, we've got lots and lots of what sometimes might be called as fast food, or sometimes it might be called as sweet food or drinks, where you've got lots of food that maybe are quite high in things like sugar. So, for instance, the donut down here has got lots and lots of sugar in it. Now, what did you decide for that one? More of or less of? I think maybe less of. It doesn't mean you never have to have it, but if you had it all the time, that probably wouldn't be very good fuel for your body. What about brushing your teeth? Well, brushing your teeth, we always say to brush your teeth twice a day. So we do it once in the morning and we do it once at night time. And if you were to do it more than that, then that would be fine. That would be good for your teeth. But if you were to do it less, maybe not as good. Games. Well, games are fantastic and they're fun and they're nice to play. I know some of you like games like Mario, don't you, at home? So they're really fun. But would you want to play them all the time? If you did play them all the time, what do you think might happen? Sometimes what might happen, and again, pause the video if my questions don't give you enough time to think. Sometimes what might happen is that when you play lots and lots and lots of games, your eyes start to get a bit tired. And sometimes you get a little bit of a headache because you've been staring at a screen for too long. So sometimes it's a good idea, a little bit like when we do our Wellbeing Wednesday, we try to think about, oh, let's not do too much screen time. And as much as it's important and much as it can be fun when you play games, there's also times where it's not always the best thing. Being outside. Now that is one where I think you could do more of that, because that is always a great thing to do for your mental health and for your lots of different challenges. A little bit like where before half term we did lots of challenges around bird watching, and we thought about the environment and nature and how that is really that's really so natural and a good thing for our bodies to do. Things like phones, and I talked about TV as well, didn't I? Well, these things can be amazing, they can be great, and it doesn't mean we never use them. But if we use them all the time, then it's very, very similar to playing games, isn't it? You might have too much screen time. And, oh, here we go, look. Lots and lots of different types of food. And again, it's similar in this one because they're both food. But the type of fuel that you're putting into your bodies is a little bit different in this picture, because this picture's got a lot more things like fruit and vegetables and carbohydrates, and it's got different types of food, and we'll learn a little bit more about that. But some of these are maybe a little bit more healthy for your body and a better fuel, and again we'll learn more about that. So finally, for your challenge, I'd like you to think a little bit about these questions. And we do it with our Jerry cat, don't we? You know that I love cats, and we've got our Jerry cat. And our Jerry cat helps us have what we call our pause for thought. So we put our little paws up, don't we? Or our little hands up. And we think, let's have a think of these things. Do you think you could do more of any of the things we've talked about? Do you think you could do less of any of the things that you've talked about? Have a little think about those things now as you pause for thought. And then we'll be back again soon to do some more really fun learning with Jigsaw Genie. I want to go all the way back to the top. Maybe you can give a little wave to him and say, see you later, Jigsaw Genie. Bye, ladybirds.